Welcome to the Lummy Sports Show. With Rhett, myself. What a catastrophe right now. Rhett, how are you doing?
Not too bad, my friend. How you doing?
My headphone wire is not working.
Oh, no.
And I'm adjusting it. And Bubba's mouse is a little bit lower than I'm used to right now.
A lot of adjusting you're going to have to do. I mean, you got a taped up hand. You're playing hurt already.
Yeah, exactly. And it's not feeling the best. My doctor didn't give me any pain pills. He told me to take some Tylenol.
Well, you don't have to look hard for pain pills, buddy. I could have.
Oh, yeah.
I could have talked to some of my connections, you know.
Oh, really?
Right.
Your connections? You got connections out?
Yeah, my people. My guys know all about that stuff.
Is that just a couple guys down the street from your apartment?
Nobody here.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Nobody here.
Yeah, I don't know if I really feel like going numb everywhere in my body, though.
Losing feeling in your toes.
Yeah, exactly.
Take this, buddy, and you won't feel your hand for 2 weeks.
For some reason, I still don't understand why the doctor didn't give me at least 1 or 2 pain pills.
Did you explain to them that you are an athlete?
No, I think he could tell that I wasn't an athlete by looking at me.
I think you could have sold him, though. He could have gave you, some of the stronger stuff.
Oh, is that what
something to take home?
Oh, is that what it is?
Well, you could have told him that you were just in the ring on Saturday.
Oh, yeah, I was
in a fucking steel cage match.
You know, that's true. I guess you could say that I technically stepped in the ring for a second.
You did. Took a bump. You were working. You're a working man.
I stepped in the ring to get the one guy out of the ring. That was my.
Did he lead you out?
Yeah, that was my big performance Saturday before I had to go get the surgery.
Well, it beats the original plan. I mean, you were going to go off the top of the cage.
Go off the top cage, doing a Macho Man flying.
Flying elbow?
Yeah, flying elbow down. Gigging myself. They were trying to mess with me on that one too.
You got to juice the hard way, brother.
Yeah, I get hit and then I juice the hard way.
Mm-hmm.
But that got squashed. They told me they were joking with me, but I bought it pretty well. But very interesting weekend. A lot of upsets.
Talk about upsets.
Some of the upsets that you and I might have picked. Some that didn't come true, like the shitty Broncos. But, I mean, who are surprised that the Broncos would have let us down?
I did title the episode that we possibly made our worst picks ever. We went through the games before the start of the show, and to be honest with you, I am surprised we did not do worse considering all of the upsets we were watching this weekend.
Yes, exactly.
The landscape of the NFL, I know it's only week 2, but it feels like there's a lot of things changing right before our eyes here. I know injuries are going to play a factor into that, but a lot of teams are a lot different this year.
A lot of quarterback play I felt like was pretty shitty too.
I mean, Minnesota over San Francisco, I think, was the biggest shock for me this weekend, just because I thought the magic with Sam Darnold was kind of going to be a 1-week farce, and he was facing one of the best teams in the NFL, and San Francisco, again, without Christian McCaffrey, but I mean, that's still a damn good defense, and he was tearing him up.
What a pussy. I knew he'd be on the IR. I mean, Sam Darnold, I think it was early into the second quarter. They show the highlight, and I see Sam Darnold back it up almost into the end zone, and I go, "Oh, Sam Darnold's gonna get sacked," and then you just see the ball come out, and I'm like, "Oh shit, that's got to at least if they're showing it as a highlight." And then you see Justin Jefferson 97-yard TD. I'm like, holy shit. And it made it 10-0. I'm like, oh, boy.
Second quarter, 10-0. That game was over.
Yeah.
I hate to say it. San Francisco's a better team than that, but when you watch that play and you watch just everybody on the sideline get demoralized, good for Sam Darnold, though.
No, yeah, Sam Darnold, besides, oh, shit. I didn't open that up in the right chat.
Was that you?
Yeah.
No.
Sorry, guys. That was.
I just got to make sure. Sometimes Bubba checks in,
Of course, yeah. No, he's out hanging out with Gene Lasker. We should have brought Gene Lasker in for the sports show. I'm sure he could have brought some insight.
Showing him the goats.
Yeah, nice. Yeah. So that was just one game that I don't think either of us picked, the Vikings 49ers.
Do you want to go down the list here and we'll just kind of...
How did we do?
Not great. Not ideal. I will tell you that headed into week 3, I am still the lead dog at 21-11. You are 19-13, but we both had one of our toughest weeks in a while last week. I was 8-8.
Right.
You were 9-7.
Oh, no thanks to the Broncos, but I did get some of my upset picks.
So starting with Thursday Night Football, Buffalo at Miami. We both picked Miami, and they shit the bed. Tua killed himself out there.
Pretty much.
New Orleans at Dallas. We both picked Dallas. And, I mean, who wasn't picking Dallas last week? Again, kind of like with Sam Darnold, I thought Derek Carr, I thought this was going to be a facade. Because the Saints normally have wins like this early in the season. Like a couple of years ago, you remember with Jameis fucking Winston,
yes,
they beat the Packers 38-3.
Kamara.
And then they missed the postseason.
Yeah, Kamara with 4 TDs.
Right. I mean, Kamara was a big time guy for them this weekend. I think Clint Kubiak has definitely got Derek Carr playing at a different level than he was last year. We'll see how consistent that is and how good they look when they play them Bucks, baby. But I mean, New Orleans definitely looks like the real deal. So we were right on our Tampa Bay pick. Can never pick against the Bucks, and they showed us why. Great game against the Lions. We were both wrong in the Green Bay Packers game, and I think Bubba would be disappointed because we both took Indy there.
Well, I mean, no one thought Malik Willis was going to come out of and play as well as he. I mean, I think at one point he was 6 for 7.
Well, and didn't I see that the Packers got 194 rushing yards in the first quarter of that game?
Yes.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Maybe one of the craziest stat lines I've ever seen in my entire life. You know, there are historic rushing performances like Adrian Peterson getting over 200 yards, things of that nature. Like that happens every now and again. But 194 rushing yards in one quarter of football?
Yeah, not too shabby.
Holy shit. I was blown away.
I mean, Colts may need to look at their defensive scheme on that one.
I mean, you could have gone out there and got a 35-yard carry, my friend, even with your busted-up hand.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Jets at Tennessee, we did get correct. Jets win that game. San Francisco at Minnesota. We just talked about this game, and both of us picked the Niners. Sam Darnold showed us why that was a mistake.
Yes, it was.
Cleveland at Jacksonville. We both picked the Jags, and I got to tell you, I'm a little disappointed in Trevor Lawrence and the Jags because I hate seeing Deshaun Watson win. I hate seeing any kind of victory for that guy. Fuck that guy.
Runs for a TD, looking like a superstar.
No, I guess so. Looking like the quarterback that they overpaid.
He probably got a full deep tissue massage after.
This was a very hot streak for us here. Las Vegas at Baltimore.
Upset.
And we picked the lowly Ravens. Just our luck, right? The one year that we're actually picking the Ravens and believing in the hype, they can't beat the Raiders, and they start their season 0-2.
Yeah,
what the hell is going on?
Shitty fucking Baltimore. And you were saying that the NFL has them picked over the Bucks, right?
Yeah, what the fuck? So we were...
What is little purple jersey running that fucking ranking system?
Yeah, we were talking about NFL power rankings this morning before the show. I think Bubba wanted to get to it. We just didn't really have time with Gene. But
yeah.
Depending on where you look, the Bucks are kind of the team we were talking about. You know, 2 very impressive victories. I know Washington is still Washington, but the Lions are a damn good team, and the Bucks beat them not in convincing fashion, but they played well. They showed that they belong with some of these top-tier teams. I wouldn't say they're a top 5 team. I would definitely say they're a top 10 team in the NFL, but depending on where you look, you know, I think Bleacher Report had the Bucks at 5. I think another publication had the Bucks at 2. Pro Football Talk had the Bucks at 3.
Well, here's the NFL power rankings.
Other spots have them at 7.
I think the NFL power rankings have them at 12.
12 outside the top 10. And like, listen, if you can give me teams to justify
Well, here are the
reasoning. If you can give me a good reasoning to justify it, then so be it. But, I mean, when you look at the teams that are ahead of the Bucks here, number 12 at 2-0 with a victory over the fucking Lions,
Donnie B,
who played in the NFC
Bucks.
Championship last year. Thank you, Donnie. I mean...
Well, let's look at 11, 10, and 9. You got Dallas Cowboys that got blown up by the Saints. You got the Green Bay Packers. Baltimore Ravens at 9.
Yeah, Baltimore at 9 is just ridiculous.
The Chargers at 7, the Saints at 8, Eagles at 6, the Lions at 5. So the Bucks that beat the Lions, I know it was a close game, but I mean, rank 5 to 12.
Hold on. Let me just read the first couple of sentences here. For a top 5 team in the NFL, rank number 5. Things are not humming in the way you'd expect offensively for this group. Yards are one thing. Execution is very much another. Jared Goff is off to a slow start to the season, missing too many throws and not connecting on enough chunk plays. The first throw interception against the Buccaneers sort of set the tone for the game. Does that sound like a top 5 team in the NFL?
Well, let's go to their coach. Coach, what do you think of this ranking system?
Well, man, we don't give a shit about the rankings. We give a shit about wins and losses. And, I blew it for our team in week 2. Yeah, before the end of the half there, we were trying to execute the 2-minute, and we were going down the field, and we were cooking, man. Jared was in there. He was in his kitchen, man. We were giving him the spices. We were letting him choose what he wanted to cook with. He had to say so at the line of scrimmage. He was picking and choosing packages, and he took us all the way down there, man. And old Coach burnt the cornbread, as they would say. I just didn't really know what I just didn't really know what I wanted to do.
What the fuck?
And put that on Coach. Put that on Coach.
Thanks, Coach. Yeah. Where would you rank the Lions in the ranking system?
9.
9, huh?
8 or 9. Like, they're still a really good team. They're still going to win. They're still going to win plenty of games. I still think they are one of the top teams in the NFL. But to have the Bucs at 12 and the Lions at 5, and then to write in the first 3 sentences how terrible they've been this season, like I don't know. I don't know the logic. I don't know the logic behind some of these picks here, but the NFL definitely has a standard and a narrative, I suppose, they have to follow every year. It's always been that way.
I mean, keeping going down there, I believe we have upset number 1 here coming up.
Which one here?
The Cardinals.
Cardinals and the Rams. So kind of getting back on track with our picks here, picking up after the Baltimore game, which we both picked the Ravens and they lost. L.A. Rams and Arizona.
Gardner Minshew looking like a superstar against the lonely Ravens.
Yeah, absolutely. So Lummy had 3 upsets of the week last week.
Baby.
He was 2 out of 3 on the upsets of the week. This is one that came through. The Rams did not come through for me. Lummy picks Arizona to win, so he's able to take that pick there. Pittsburgh at Denver. I picked the Steelers to win. You picked Denver as one of your upset picks of the week. The only one that didn't hit.
Yeah, and you know what? That was did you watch any of that game?
Mm-mm.
Very boring game. 13-6.
I believe it. You've seen one Steelers game. You kind of seen them all.
Yeah, and you've seen one Broncos game, and you know that you should never pick them again.
Yeah, 13-6 definitely sounds like a prototypical Steelers final score. So I know that, as much as I can say good things about Mike Tomlin, his brand of football may not be the most exciting. So I usually skip the Pittsburgh games there. We were pretty good the rest of the way, though. Cincinnati at Kansas City. We both picked the Chiefs. Chicago at Houston.
Bengals were close, though, 26-25.
They were. I was glad to see that, to be honest with you. I think they had the lead with under 2 minutes to go.
Yeah, Chiefs took that one from them. They say the refs took that one from them.
Oh, sure. I mean, I saw something the other day that Patrick Mahomes has had 22 turnovers overturned in his young NFL career. And I think Tom Brady only had like 5 or 6 throughout his entire career.
Yeah, not too bad. A little help from the refs.
They deny it every year, but it gets more apparent. I mean, you can't tell us what's not happening when we see it with our own eyes every single week. Chicago at Houston. Houston ends up winning a late one in that ball game. And Atlanta at Philly. This was also one of Lummy's upsets of the week. I picked the Birds. He also picked the Birds, but he picked the correct Birds here, taking the Falcons. How about primetime Kirk Cousins? Right down the field in like 3 or 4 easy plays, and they make quick work of Philly there.
Yeah, look, Falcons, I forgot where I saw it, but it said, it was on the Pat McAfee show yesterday, about Atlanta. Are they primed for the Super Bowl?
Give me a fucking break.
You don't agree with Pat?
I'm so tired of hearing about the Falcons. Like, going into this season, everybody was picking the Falcons ahead of the Bucs, and that's totally fine.
Fuck, now I'm picking the Saints ahead of the Bucs.
Yeah, at this rate. But the Falcons seem like that team, especially with Kirk Cousins now. Like, a lot of NFL pundits want to put some stock into the Falcons because I think they are a better team than they were last year. But what they have shown us through these first 2 games, especially with Kirk Cousins not being 100%, he talked about that as well. It's going to take them 7 or 8 or 9 weeks to really find some cohesion in that offense and run like the well-oiled machine that they aspire to be. It could be sooner, could be later, could take more than 8-9 games, could take less. I could be wrong. They could run the table and be the best team in the NFL for the rest of the season.
They got the Chiefs coming up this week.
Yeah, and I think they're going to get their fucking ass kicked, to be honest with you. I think they face off against a complete team like Kansas City, you're going to start to see the more apparent things that are wrong with Atlanta. Because Monday night, that was an impressive drive by Kirk Cousins. But that game was more so Philly losing it than Atlanta winning it in the final minute there, I think.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree with you on that one, and I think we'll see it. I'm kind of curious on see what the Falcons are going to look like against the Saints, because right after that they the Bucks go to Atlanta to play them, and I think that will be a good test to see where the division's going to go right there.
Yeah, I mean the Falcons, you come out. Luckily, they avoid going 0-2. That would have been bad for them to have to play catch up the rest of the year, but those division games are going to tell you everything you need to know about these two teams. The Bucks don't play the Panthers until later in the year. They play the Saints here fairly soon, and they play the Falcons in the middle of the season. So, I mean, regardless, you want to see how that matchup goes, because with New Orleans looking as good as they have these first 2 weeks, I am just hopefully waiting for that magic to die out. They have scored the most points in the NFL. Clint Kubiak, again, is doing a really good job in his first year as offensive coordinator, making Derek Carr look like a fucking superstar.
He sure is.
So I certainly hope that at some point you're going to start to see that slow down. You're going to start to see just the inconsistency set in like it does for every single NFL team at some point in the season. And I know they're off to a really hot start, but well, I think the way they play against Atlanta is going to tell you. I mean, it's going to tell you a lot about both teams. That's why they play the game. But I definitely think the winner of that game is going to be who the Bucs are gunning for in the NFC South this year.
Well, just like the Falcons, the Chiefs, after they play Atlanta, they go and play the Saints. So it looks like we're going to see how. Because the Saints right now play the Panthers the first game. That's where everyone kind of was like, okay, whatever.
Right, yeah, everybody beats the Panthers
they walk
convincingly.
They go to play against the Cowboys and at Dallas and beat them 44-19. They play at home against the Eagles too. So I mean, those two games realistically should show where where the Saints are going to be at. I mean, you got the Falcons going against that, and then the Saints play the Falcons before us. So I think that's really going to say something about what the NFC South looks like. And a lot of people were kind of dogging on the NFC South, but it looks like the NFC South might be a little stronger than some people think. I think the Panthers are dragging them down, but I think the NFC South might be one of the. I mean, at this point, it's better than the NFC East.
2 weeks into the year, Derek Carr and Baker Mayfield are looking like two of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. Statistically, they are. Moving the football, throwing touchdowns. They lead the NFL in both of those categories. I believe only one interception so far for both of them. And on top of that, the Bucs are first in the NFL, I believe I read, in explosive plays on offense, which is very, very good to see. Baker Mayfield, I believe, also first in the NFL on yards per pass attempt, which is up over 9.5. So, I mean, yeah, these guys have seemingly figured it out. And at least for the first 2 weeks of the season, the NFL is going to try their damnedest to still kind of follow some of these narratives from last year. Like the Lions are still a top 5 team in the NFL as of right now, which is just not true. But, they have an agenda to push. And I think part of that agenda is shitting on the NFC South. Eventually, things are going to level out, I think, but it has been fun to watch, without a doubt.
I forgot there was a player from Alabama named Kool-Aid McKinstry.
Yeah.
I totally forgot about that. 443.
How about them Ravens, boys?
Oh, listen to this shit talker.
Yeah, how about them? What's going on,
yeah,
dude?
What's up? What's up, 0-2 Baltimore? I mean,
I have no idea. These next 3 weeks or 4 weeks are going to be basically make or break.
I mean, what's going on? I mean, Baltimore went and pretty much, they loaded up with Derrick Henry. You guys got the receivers, Lamar's back, and you guys started 0-2. I want to hear the excuses.
Well, how about J.K. Dobbins? You see his performance for the Chargers over the weekend. Hey, let me ask you. I'll just be straight up.
Justice Hill.
I'll just be straight up. Did Derrick Henry somehow slow down the Ravens offense?
No, I don't think so. I don't understand why we're not using him. Like, on our first drive of the game this past week, he played first down and didn't touch the field again on that first drive. And I don't really understand what is going on. Because if we just, if we ground and pound a couple times, it opens up play action and everything like that. I just don't think he's being utilized. But Harbaugh was asked about that, And he was like, well, we didn't bring him in to touch the ball every single play. But you still have to utilize him correctly. If he's on the field 5-10 times a half, you know he's getting the ball. So it's tough. Plus, our offensive line looks absolutely horrific right now.
And don't forget about the unsuccessful replay challenges, the undisciplined penalties.
Justin Tucker has a miss or two this year, too, so far.
What is it?
I think Justin Tucker's already missed a kick or two.
Oh, yeah, 56-yarder miss.
He's missed two over 50 yards, but it almost felt like Harbaugh challenged those plays because the crowd got restless and wanted him to. They were two horrible challenges. If we didn't challenge the one in the second half, we would have had.
Oh, God, what happened? They get him?
I accidentally put him on hold. Oh, shit. Hold on. No!
Baltimore police kicked down his door?
Yeah. Shit. Oh, he's gone. Damn it. Call back, little purple. 561.
Can you?
Stupid hand.
Am I here now?
Yeah, there you are.
There you go. See?
All right, I'm here. What? I don't know what the last thing you heard was.
Yeah, just the Ravens stuff.
Quiet the crowd down.
Yeah, he took the challenges.
Yeah, without the second half challenge, we would have had an extra minute on the clock to try to drive down the field and kick the field goal. But I don't know. Well, I don't know how we're supposed to block Micah Parsons this week. We will see what happens. But
it looks like the Saints did a good job on it. But the Ravens, I guess, are no Saints.
No, definitely not. Saints are the best team in the NFL right now.
Yeah, they are. Kind of.
When do you guys play them?
I think week 6.
Yeah, it's in a couple weeks.
Week 6. Got it. Yeah, I think we have Dallas, and then the Bills, and then the Bengals, and then I think, I don't know, maybe the Colts or something.
That's Washington. Washington, and then until you come down here for Monday Night Football and play the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yeah, that'll be a fun game.
Yeah, I mean, it should be a fun game.
Are you guys going to go to it?
Of course we are. We're Tampa Bay Buccaneer fans.
Got
we don't give up.
Right,
we don't give up on our teams like you do. So
I opened the call with how about them Ravens?
Yeah, how about them? 0-2. They're probably going to finish. What do you think? What's your prediction, Rhett, on the Ravens this year?
10 wins.
Anything outside of 15-2 is the wrong answer.
I say they get to 10 wins. 10 or 11.
I can see that. I was going to say maybe 9.
You're starting from behind, but they're going to win some games, so 10 or 11.
They got a tough game.
I mean, realistically, we were supposed to start 1-1, so we're a game behind of where we were supposed to be. So
championship teams don't start 1-1, buddy. Look at the Kansas City Chiefs.
Appreciate you, Perp. Thank you, man.
See ya, Perp.
See ya.
You're always going to be behind the Chiefs if you're always looking to lose to the Chiefs. Because that's what he just said. We were realistically supposed to start 1-1, and I'm pretty sure he wasn't looking through and looking at the Raiders. So you'll never be a championship team if you're going to lose to the champion. 610. Philosophy by Lummy.
Lummy, Neil Mount Pleasure.
What's up, Neil Mount Pleasure?
Hey, man, we survived. Surviving advance. We'll see what happens this week down in Nashville. So, hey, I'm going to be in Dallas tomorrow, so I'm going to make fun of all the Cowboy fans, though, since they got blitzed at home once again.
They got their ass kicked, and you guys pulled it out with Malik Willis as your quarterback.
Oh, I mean, you just run the ball. I know, dude. It's pretty. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, your center's throwing up on the ball, and you're still able to, kick the shit out of the Colts. I mean, come on, that's pretty good.
Hey, man, that's it was good, and I want to say, Rhett, your Bucks look good. So do you two. Well, you're a Bucks fan too, Lummy. So you guys look good.
Of course.
Hell yeah, man.
That's a good win to go into Detroit. So.
That's right.
Yeah, I was stunned. I was picking them to lose all week, and I'm very, very glad that I was wrong.
And you can tell
they look like they belong.
The best opponent that we could have had after the Detroit Lions is the team we're playing, because the Bucks were not looking ahead to the opponent after the Lions. Because, Rhett, who is our opponent right after?
Oh, well, they got Denver this week. And I mean,
come on.
Well, listen, you're not, even though you just beat the Lions, they're not in a position to overlook any team in the NFL. But when you look at the injuries they're coming into this game with, I am perfectly fine with not having a Vita Vea, not having a Kalijah Cansey out there against a Denver offensive line. I think we'll be okay without those guys.
Exactly. It's perfect. It's perfect timing for us to rest our players against a really shitty team.
Go get 3-0. You guys have a good week.
You too, Neil.
Appreciate you, Neil. Thank you,
Thanks,
man.
Neil.
Yeah, 3-0 start for the Bucks would be their first Lummy in how long? When's the last time the Bucks started 3-0?
Do you know?
It's been 20 years, my friend.
I was going to say that I'm going to guess, and I was going to say, I guess it would be 2024. Yeah, because
05.
Was it?
It was the 2005 season.
Oh, I thought didn't they start 3-0 in 04?
Well, 05 was the last
right.
time they did it.
Sorry, 04 is the okay. 05 was the last time because I remember then that's when the Colts games too. That's when
was that Monday Night Football 04 when they lost to Manning?
Yeah,
brutal.
When everyone went out.
Yeah.
641.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Brandon the Quad.
Hey, Brandon, how's it going?
What's up, Brandon?
Pretty good. I got my new phone. Can you hear me better?
Hell
Yes.
yeah.
Sounds 100 times better.
I mean, it kind of does, yeah.
Yeah. Hey, So, do you guys think that it was the Bucks' offensive line, or was it that Aiden Hutchinson is that good?
Bucks, I think it's both.
Yeah,
I think it's both. I think
guy's
Aiden
a stud.
Hutchinson, he's a fucking freak of nature, and he's really coming into his own as a pass rusher. Like, this is going to be his most productive year by far. He's off to a good start, but the Bucks were missing their starting right tackle, and Justin Skule, they did not give him any help for the first half of that game. I don't know why
I don't know why they
didn't
weren't
put
bringing up a chip block or a tight end on
they
that
weren't
side.
helping him, dude. Anytime he was left alone on an island one-on-one, he was getting his lunch money taken out there. So they just needed to get him some help. I thought they did a decent job adjusting throughout the game, chipping tight ends, bringing in some extra linemen to go help him out on that side. But he was still getting his, man. I mean, he is one hell of a pass rusher.
But I think Baker deserves the money that he got because he's pretty damn good.
Exactly. Brandon, are you excited that Iowa's points? They're killing it. I mean,
Scoring more points than they have in a decade.
Besides Iowa State that they scored 19 and gave a big fat loss to. But
that game, I didn't even worry about that game. I'm worried about Ohio State in 2 weeks.
Oh, you're looking ahead. You're bypassing Minnesota.
Mm-hmm. That game's going to be a crapshoot.
Are you betting on them? Are you putting 10, 15 cents on it?
No, I'm broke until the first of the month, so I can't put any money down.
I thought all this offensive production, you would have had $1.50 by now, man.
Oh, he was betting the under. You know he was betting the under.
Yeah, he came into the year expecting the under,
No,
and
actually,
they drained his wallet in 3 weeks.
Yeah. But yeah, I think the Bucks are going to win the division outright.
All right.
I love it.
We like it, Brandon. Thank you.
All right, guys.
All right, Brandon.
Good show. And Gene Lasker's the man.
He sure is.
Fuck yeah, he is. See you later, Brandon.
You kind of got him in his little rut there when you said about how he evoked the bank on the under. He lost. He's like, oh.
Big E said his phone sounds so good he wouldn't have guessed it was BTQ.
Oh man, that's And you're right. You bind. Yes, I sabotaged the Dolphin season with the hatred for Tua. Yes, you should be happy that I got Skyler playing for you guys this week. I'm sure Skyler's gonna just light it up.
His value in sports cards has certainly gone up, man. Skyler Thompson,
what are they?
Like a plus 400% in whatever.
People actually think he's going to be good?
Well, I guess like the way that the market adjusts so quickly is as soon as everyone found out he was going to be a starting quarterback, his stuff started fucking selling. Same with Malik Willis.
In case?
Same with it. Well, yeah. I mean, he's a starter, so people are looking for reason for this market to change so they can either sell, offload, or buy their own shit. But a couple of years ago, it was, or a couple of weeks ago, it was Malik Willis. You could get an RPA autograph of Malik Willis, probably numbered to like 50 for $10. Now that same card's probably worth $150 just because he's a starter.
Is that like Tommy Two Guns from New York?
Tommy DeVito, Tommy Cutlets. Yeah, there was a period of time where like his cards were worth something less than nothing, and now that he's not a starter anymore, you can kind of get a deal on a lot of his stuff.
In chat, Mike was asking, is Florida State going to the Big Ten? I don't see Florida State going to the Big Ten. I mean, obviously the ACC is getting weaker. There was rumors, obviously, that they were going to join the SEC.
Fucking send them to the Pac-12.
So, put them all in the Pac-12?
Yeah, West Coast, Best Coast.
Oh, jeez.
USF, FSU over there.
Oh, you mean just put everyone from like the AAC into the Pac-12?
Well, you saw they're putting more teams back in the Pac-12 now.
Are they?
Yeah.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, there's new teams in the Pac-12 now.
Yeah, I didn't. Well, I mean, yeah, I could see Florida State, who's bitching about getting paid too much, wanting to fly out to the West Coast for that. We got Big E in there saying that they're going to go to the Big 12. I think the Big 12 has too much fucking expansion, don't they?
You're asking the wrong guy. I think with the, what's the one? The B1G?
The Big 10?
Yeah. How many schools are in there now?
Let's see.
Big 10's got a fuck ton of schools.
They sure do. Well, look at the AAC. And then here's the AAC.
Speaking
Big
of
12,
the AAC, we gotta get.
And there's the Big 10.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So, I mean, the sky's the limit. I don't think there's much of a limit when we talk about.
Big 12 has 16.
Go up.
These super conferences.
Yeah, right. USF is not in the AAC still, correct? They got out of there?
No, they're in the AAC.
Are they?
Right
they
there.
need to get out of there because look at the rest of those teams, dude.
Oh, no, they're horrible. But, I mean, it looks like the AAC has 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 17. They have 17 teams in the AAC, or in the ACC.
So where does USF go? Does USF go to the ACC?
If Florida State,
especially with FSU going out?
If FSU leaves, then yes, I could see the USF moving up to the ACC. Now, when FSU leaves, how many teams leave the ACC? That's the question.
Right.
I know they just brought in California, which makes perfect sense for the Atlantic Coast Conference to have California and Stanford. I guess technically all bodies of water connect.
Sure.
So I guess that's okay. Obviously, the Big 12 and the Big 10 are pretty full. If I was FSU and
Conference USA.
Jump back down.
Is that what the fuck you're about to say?
Jump back. No, I was gonna say and I know it never will happen. It's just stupid point. But FSU might as well just go talk to some other teams and be like, hey, let's just start our own super conference. Yeah.
So let me ask you about: is there a possibility or a scenario where FSU doesn't end up in the SEC? Because fuck that, right? Is there a scenario where they wind up being an independent team?
No, I don't think so. The reason to leave in the ACC is because of all the TV money and all the shared revenue.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at that. They could join the Pac-12.
Go up one.
Mountain West.
They'll end up in the Mountain West.
Mountain West, or don't forget the Mid-American.
Mm-hmm.
They'll absolutely dominate that. But
when you look around at all of these different conferences, and you talk about the TV deals and all the money that's being thrown around by these programs, where does FSU fit in? Because this season, you can't convince anybody that they're one of the top tier programs in the country anymore. At least not this year. Last year, you probably could have made a much stronger case, but I guess these things take time to play out. So
it's all their other athletics.
Yeah, where do they fit in?
Realistically, if you want the Big 12 to be competitive, you almost have to put them in the Big 12, and that brings an East Coast team into it. And then the Big 12 maybe tries to recruit a couple of maybe the smaller, conferences to bring in, just that. Because right now you got to think Big 12 is Texas and then out west.
Mm-hmm.
The most East team, well, I guess UCF is their most East team. But then that would make a UCF FSU rivalry.
That'd be nice. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
I think those teams are made for each other.
And
I think year to year, they could each beat each other.
With a West Virginia kicker. I guess, technically you'd put those in with Cincinnati, make that whole, you almost split the conference up. I guess. That's only where I really see them. I don't see them joining the SEC.
FSU, Colorado, especially if Deion's still there, that'd be cool.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be good TV.
If you look at Florida right now, it's nice to be in the SEC until you got to play that schedule.
So you got to fire that. Well,
I'm saying, it's
being in the SEC.
It's nice to have a good team, but when you're a mediocre team and you're going for your job, and it's literally the only way you're looking at getting a win is against Samford. Because like we've talked about countless times, I don't really see them getting a win. Maybe Mississippi State.
Yeah,
But it's at Mississippi State.
They'll be lucky to beat UCF when you look at the rest of their opponents here. Maybe Florida State if they haven't fired Billy Napier by then.
And Urban Meyer comes back?
Right, yeah, we get an emergency Urban Meyer. I saw something the other day that Florida State and Florida shouldn't be allowed to fire their coaches until after the season, so we can see the shit bowl to wrap up the year.
Yeah, there you go.
Florida State and Florida being one of the worst matchups it's been in 20-plus years.
You know the one coach that I keep thinking, and it's been in my head, and I've said it for a while now. See, if he gets fired, I think we're going to lose a coach here, and it's going to go to UF.
Talking about Galesh?
Yeah.
Ooh.
No one's really talking about that, but I could see that.
I would love Coach Galesh as a Gator.
Yeah, and I mean, him to leave USF, but he knows the SEC, and
he knows how to win.
Well, yeah,
he knows how to win.
His
and
offense
if he doesn't,
would be perfect in Gainesville. He knows how to recruit Florida.
He's got a disciplined football team. He's got a disciplined sideline. He's got a team that plays up to their competition, knows what they are capable of. Like, he's not working with the best players in the country, but they're playing competitive football. So imagine having the recruiting pool that the Florida Gators have and will continue to have, right? I mean, you're playing some of the top teams in the SEC, but he just has that mentality. He has that, I don't know what the word I'm looking for is. Veracity? I don't think that's the word. He has like a killer instinct about him. He's a fucking winner. And Billy Napier is a fucking loser. I've been saying it since the beginning of last year. He's just not a winning coach. He just doesn't have the aura, as the kids say.
I think if USF get like 8 wins this year, you know who's gonna go? Is Galosh, your brother, pretty much.
We'll probably lose Daddy Warsaw too.
Yes,
I think he follows his boy wherever he goes. Yeah,
and you know who else would probably lose? What does everyone say Florida's kind of lacking?
Oh, Bynum Brown.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, you obviously still have some time with DJ Lagway. He hasn't played consistently well, but I mean, he's barely played this year. So I still think that if there's
Brown, man, you got to think about it. He's not making much money here.
Oh, he's not. And I definitely think
money.
After the hype he has this year, he's gone no matter what. All right, like we've kind of
why not take him with you to Florida if he goes?
Exactly. We've talked to some people at UCF who are already kind of assuming this, or USF who are already kind of assuming this may be the 1 year that they have to kind of milk this guy, and I think he could be a viable quarterback for the Gators. But I
hate saying that. I'm USF. I don't want him to go.
Oh, I don't want him to go either.
But I don't think we can keep him if he has a good year. I mean, because realistically, Florida would be smart going after him. I mean, he's in Florida,
young coach.
He's used to the SEC. Already coached, he was at Tennessee. Because, I mean, your guy now, Billy Napier, I mean, was he ever in the SEC? I know he was at, Arkansas State or some shit?
Kentucky?
Was he at Kentucky?
Let me look at his resume.
I'll take this
here.
call while you do that. 813.
Yep. What's going on, guys? This is Brad out of Mulberry. How y'all doing today?
How's it going, Brad?
What's up, Brad?
From Mulberry.
I'm nice, man. Yes, sir. Hey, I just want to get you guys' take on, I know you guys are talking about the Gators. What do you think that their win-loss record is going to be this year? Because it's, been pretty depressing as a Gators fan for the last, I'd say 5 years or more.
Well,
what do you guys feel the Gators are going to do the rest of the year?
Well, if you want to count that Samford win, then...
Yeah, I know that's a high school team. A glorified high school team.
Yeah, I mean, realistically, the way they're playing, I can see them with maybe 3 wins.
I mean, listen, brother,
Maybe?
I'm right there with you. As a Gators fan, grew up a Gators fan, I've seen this team reach the highest of highs and be the best team in the country. And here we are talking about potentially maybe being lucky to get 3 or 4 wins. But aside from sneaking out a win against a team that doesn't see it coming, the only ones that I see left on the schedule that they could potentially do that against are Florida State, maybe UCF, and maybe Kentucky. But other than that, dude, No, I don't think you have a really good chance against Mississippi State. I think we're getting...
Did you see Kentucky play Georgia?
Yeah, they played them close. They played them very well.
I didn't see that game, but I know the only thing that makes the Gators this year feel a little bit better is the fact that Florida State is doing just as bad, if not worse.
Worse. One less win on the year.
Better.
No, I mean, Florida State
makes it feel a lot better.
Florida State hasn't played their Division I AA schools yet.
No, they played Memphis.
That's not Division One AA.
It's not, but they still paid him. No, but they still fucking paid Memphis like $2 million to come out there and beat them.
Yeah, but that's the AAC, buddy. That's what USF's in, man. Don't be hating on that.
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
Listen, they got Charleston Southern before Florida.
Well, I got one more question for you guys for this week's matchup. Who do you think is a good sleeper running back for fantasy this year? Because, I mean, it seems like everybody's taking a hit. Who would you guys pick for a sleeper running back for this week?
Bucky Irving. I think
Bucky Irving, huh?
I think the Bucs are really going to have to run the football this week. Denver isn't good at a lot of things. The Bucs are number 1 in the NFL at explosive plays on offense. The Broncos, coincidentally enough, are number 1 in the NFL at limiting explosive plays on defense. So I don't quite think Baker's going to throw as much as a lot of people want to assume he is. The Denver run defense is god-awful, one of the worst in the NFL. I think this is the week the Buccaneers finally get those running backs churning, giving them more carries. And I think for Bucky Irving, that's going to mean a higher yards per carry than a Rashad White because he's just I think better in that sense.
Well, you got to think the Bucs are going to probably be up pretty good before the half, so they're going to put Bucky in for the cleanup duty.
I would hope so. But yeah, I think if you're looking for a sleeper guy, Bucky Irving is someone who will definitely still be available for you.
All right, guys. Well, I appreciate it, man. The show's on fire. I love it when Brian's in, too. I think he adds, another dynamic to it. But you guys are doing great.
Well, he'll be in tomorrow.
Keep it up.
So
awesome. All right, fellas. We all have a good rest of your day.
You too. Thanks, Mulberry.
Appreciate you, Brad. Thank you, man.
So, poor Florida State. Listen, you guys are attacking the Florida State team that's down. I'm not a fan of them, but, they haven't played their Division I AA school. I don't know why you think Kentucky's going to lose to Florida.
I don't think they are. When you look at who they have a chance at potentially upsetting, I mean, after that Georgia game, you're right. I'm glad you reminded me of it because I didn't think of it when I said it. But at most 3 or 4 teams on their schedule that they could surprise and win. It looks like it's shaping up to be one of our worst years yet. I think it's only a matter of time for old Billy. And he's lost his team. He's lost his locker room. He never had it to begin with because I love to reference this, but it's always going to remind me of Billy Napier's time here in Florida. He couldn't even control his own sideline. That's what referee Fred told us.
Yeah,
and ever since I heard that
about referee Fred too. So.
From the moment I heard that, dude, I was out on Napier because that's coaching, that's discipline, and this team certainly does not have that. When I hear about that shit and then I see them being as undisciplined as they are on the field, Napier's a joke.
Pretty much. I mean, I was surprised when they hired him at that point, too. So
I was looking up his resume, by the way. Spent 4 years as an offensive coach at Alabama. So he does have...
What kind of offensive coach?
Let me see here. The way that they list this really pisses me off because they put all of it there. He was an offensive analyst.
Oh, okay.
Colorado State, he was an assistant coach and QB coach. And then 2013 to 2017, he was assistant coach, wide receiver coach at Alabama. And then he was an offensive coordinator at Arizona State in 2017. I cannot see anything after that.
As T-shirt Will says, listen, Billy's a joke.
Billy is a joke. I don't need T-shirt Will. I don't need fucking Florida State fans telling me my head coach is a joke. I know that enough for myself. You guys need to worry about what you got going on that side of the water.
And it looks like you got the Dolphins have finally placed Tua on the IR. So good luck to Tua. Hopefully you think about your family. And probably retire. That's what it's all about. And give someone else a chance to throw to Tyreek Hill.
God bless Tua T, and I hope he recovers and continues to play. For his sake, I hope he continues to play football because that's what he wants to do. He makes it clear that is what he is passionate about. That's what he's up to this point made a career out of. So for his sake, I hope we see him back on the football field. But the amount of people who are coming up with just the corniest sayings I've ever heard my entire life off of this injury, maybe it was Mike McDaniel who said it, or it was someone else who kind of coined it and wanted to take credit with it. But someone said, Tua is a quarterback for the Dolphins, but more importantly, he's the quarterback for his family.
That's right. That's what you got to think about your family, son. Got to think about your family.
It's a valid point. It is exactly the right thing to say. I just think the creativity that people are putting behind it now, and everyone's like, he needs to be under center for his kids. he needs to play action pass. these risks out of his life. Yeah, I mean it's been like that. It's been one hell of a roll ever since he went down. Ever since that one-liner came out about how he needs to be the quarterback of his family. Give me a break.
Well, it also looks like Kareem Hunt coming back to the Chiefs. Signing after Isaiah Pacheco, which he's on 2 of my fantasy teams. That really blows.
Don't they do this every couple of years?
I
feel like they brought him back a year or two ago.
I think they did. Kareem Hunt seems like he keeps it. It's almost like he lives next to the stadium and can just keep coming back and back and back.
I feel like they've done this before. He was on the Chiefs 27 to 2018. He was with the Browns 2019, 2023, and now he's back with Kansas City. So maybe it's another running back I'm thinking of.
Maybe I thought the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it looks like he's coming back after, I guess, being cut by the Browns and getting picked up on the practice squad.
Is he one of those guys who beat a girl up?
Kareem Hunt?
Yeah.
Well, let's see here. I don't see physical attack.
Oh, yeah. On November 30th, 2018, TMZ released a video of him allegedly involved in an altercation with a woman in a hotel after his friends claimed she called him a racial slur. Oh, okay, so he's justified. I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's on the commissioner's exempt list, preventing him to practice. Chiefs released them right there. And it said the CEO, Clark Hunt, released a statement following his release indicating that Hunt was not truthful when the Chiefs asked him about the incident. So they cut him because of that, but they're bringing him back because they need him.
And model citizen.
Yeah. Well, he's on the practice squad. So I don't really think, obviously the Chiefs seem like they're pretty easy to plug and play. So I don't think the Chiefs are really going to miss a step on that one.
No, I think the Chief way now. I think they've unlocked the secret to longevity in the postseason and back-to-back Super Bowls. They just loaf their way through the regular season. Like, Travis Kelce has been microwave dog crap this year over the first couple of weeks of the year, especially if you drafted him in fantasy like some poor people did.
It doesn't help that Taylor Swift's still getting on TV 10 times a game.
Right, and he's got all those commercials as well, but like he's playing like shit. He's just not available. He hasn't had any catches. I think he's, only got a little bit of a little bit of mojo these first 2 weeks, but I guarantee you when we get to the postseason, he's going to be Mr. Third Down. He's going to have 12 catches and 184 yards and 2 touchdowns because nobody game planned for him because he looked like shit all year.
He's going to need that one game.
It never matters what team the Chiefs have. It never matters what receivers, what running backs, what defensive players, what offensive linemen they lose. It does not matter. As long as you have 15 on the field, they're going to be one of the better teams at the end of the year. Especially when playoff time comes around, they're just going to they're going to turn it on. And that's my theory. But, they've been winning football games, but you've got guys like Travis Kelce, who I know is a little bit older. He's definitely taken these early games off, if you will.
I could see that. Maybe he's getting. Wasn't Gronk kind of like that?
Yeah, save your best for the end of the year. Save your best for the playoffs. I think it was Super Bowl 53 when the Pats beat the Rams. Gronk limped into that game. I think he had to have surgery after that Super Bowl. I think he said it was potentially the most hurt he's ever played. That's because he was balling all year and taking beatings.
Yep.
That by the time you beat the Super Bowl, where your team needs you the most, you can't do anything. You can barely run. So stuff like that, I definitely think is viable for teams with 17 games, and then especially now the NFL inevitably going to take us to 18, and then probably fucking 20 within the next 5 years.
I could see that happening easily with maybe not even one preseason game, maybe
if that.
But it looks like what they're doing, limiting practice and the preseason, is hurting players. I mean, if you look, there's been a lot of injuries here, and especially week 1 and 2, a lot of teams have been in slow starts. But then you got a lot of, McCaffrey's his Achilles, his hamstring. The Bucs have lost a good amount of the defensive players.
Yeah.
The offensive line. It looks like there's a lot of injuries that are guys missing games because it seemed like before, you had those lingering injuries, and they would maybe be probable, but they would play. They just wouldn't practice during the year, but they would play. And it looks like now, that these guys are missing a game or two.
Yeah. I think part of it is just bad luck. You can never account for injuries. I don't think guys plan on going into the year and getting hurt, obviously.
If you're not going full speed early on, then go full speed.
Sure, maybe lack of activity in the preseason is a little bit to blame. There's guys who are still healthy every single week, playing plenty of reps, who didn't play a single snap in the preseason, but there's also a lot of guys that, I guess, like you said, are missing 2, 3, 4 weeks a year, and it's becoming lingering issues. But I just think it's bad luck. I think it's bad luck. I think it's a run of like shit. Our big stars got hurt at the beginning of the year, and now it seems like a bigger deal than it usually is. But
look at the Rams right now, Kupp and Piku.
Yeah, Kupp and Puka. That really sucks.
I mean, they just lost their 1-2 wide receivers. Was Tyler Johnson the one that was on the Bucs?
Sure was. Buccaneers legend Tyler Johnson made that incredible catch in the postseason against the New Orleans Saints. Was able to convert that third down and keep the offensive drive alive for the Bucs to go down the field and score. So had he not caught that ball, Bucs may not have beaten the Saints that day. So I will always remember Tyler Johnson with fond memories, even though he did kind of fall off.
Looks like he's going to be one or two with DeMarcus Robinson.
Good for him. Good for him. I mean, so far this season, 2 games played, 7 catches. Would like to see him kind of pop back into relevancy among, NFL wide receivers. He was never the greatest player, but I liked him coming out of college. My buddy Evan and I both liked him a lot coming out of college. I did think he made some decent plays for the Bucs. Maybe he just wasn't at the level that Tom Brady would have wanted him to be at. I think they ended up re-signing him, actually, for training camp last year, and then he didn't make the team once final cuts came around.
Yeah, they re-signed him.
Yeah, but he didn't end up making it. But I would like to see him play well. Good opportunity he has in LA.
Exactly. But
Stafford's a good quarterback. Still a good quarterback.
So this week should be pretty. Listen, my hand's hurting, so I'm probably going to end the show a little early. Sorry, guys.
Oh, no.
It's hard to, even though the doctor said my 2 fingers would work, he forgot to mention that where you would put your 2 fingers to click, it kind of hurts, and you don't want to press on it. So I apologize today, guys, but we are going to cut it a little early.
We still got time for picks, though.
Yeah, well, no, that's what I was going to go to. Cool. And there's a big game this week. Are you going this weekend to the USF Miami game? It's selling out, I think. That's what they're saying.
I would like to try. I think it's going to be a really good game. So I will definitely try and make that one.
But
it's a night game too, right?
7:00.
Even better.
Raymond James. So let's go through our picks. Since I'm coming off the win this week, we'll let you go first. You're writing them down, aren't you?
I am writing them down, but I am a little bit ahead here. So New England at the Jets, Thursday night football. This is going to be something. We got Jacoby Brissett and the Patriots versus Aaron Rodgers and the Jets. I think this is going to be an interesting game. 1, because it's Thursday night football, and 2, I still have no idea what to expect with this Patriots team. Didn't get the job done last week, but still a big-time upset against the Bengals in week 1 there.
Got Aaron Rodgers at the Jets.
Aaron Rodgers and the Jets, who, again, was not fantastic the last time we saw this team.
Got the win, though.
Got the win, but they didn't do it great. Aaron Rodgers didn't look the best. So I think it could be another long night for Aaron Rodgers, but I want to think in this division game, I'm going to pick the Jets. Maybe I regret this, and if I do, then I'll never pick against the Pats again, but I'm going to pick the Jets for this one.
Well, you're not going to regret that pick because you got the guru over here.
There we go.
Picking the Jets and Aaron Rodgers in MetLife Stadium. It's a 6-point. I think that's it. I can see. I'll probably take the Jets in 6, but I'll take the Jets straight up, obviously, for this. New York at Cleveland. Wow. Well, I mean, Deshaun Watson did get his first win last week. New York, did you watch the game against them in the Commanders that soon might be recalled the Redskins?
No.
And they did lose Gano for their kicker, but they did battle it with the Commanders, 21-18.
$50 on the cash out from Uncle Eric. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Uncle Eric. So, man, that's going to be a tough one. I mean, you got Danny Dimes versus who likes to be touched while he likes the Diggler that likes to be touched while he gets his massage. And it's in Cleveland. Does Danny Dimes come up big, or does Deshaun Watson feel good? I'm going to have to go with Deshaun Watson. I'm going to have to go with Cleveland.
It doesn't feel right picking Cleveland, but I'm also going with Cleveland here. It's the Giants, man.
Got a prediction here of the Miami USF game from Fireman Saw My Buck. Miami 62, USF 17.
Oh, come on. You got to give their defense a little more credit.
Yeah, I know. I mean, come on. They held Alabama for 3.5 quarters. Yeah, but yeah, it's still gonna be closer than that. Green Bay at Tennessee. When Malik Willis does now, hold on, does Jordan Love come back this week?
Good question. I'm picking the Packers either way. If he doesn't, I'm still picking the Packers because for Tennessee, man, Will Levis does not look good.
Yeah, but I mean, if Malik Willis reunion in Tennessee, oh man, that's gonna be a tough one. I'm gonna have to go with Green Bay too.
Yeah, picked against them last week, and I feel like if we do that again, Bubba might actually come down on us. So
probably cancel the sports show.
Yeah.
So both got Tennessee. Chicago at Indianapolis. Now Anthony Richardson, former Florida Gator, 3 interceptions. Looks like complete shit. Really let us down last week in our picks. Let me down in a bunch of bets too.
Yeah, we were literally just talking. We were just hyping up these guys. A really good game, decent game he played against C.J. Stroud and the Texans early. And yeah, but I will say this. Got to keep in mind here, Anthony Richardson, I know Colts fans are impatient. They've had plenty of quarterbacks, but I'm not entirely ready to throw the book out on this guy yet, just because I didn't really like him as a prospect coming out of Florida. I didn't love him while he was our quarterback at Florida. Now that I see where our offense is, I'd fucking give anything to have him again. But he's a raw player, and that's what I did not like about him coming out of Florida. I think he's got the talent. I think he's got the ceiling, but you have to let him figure it out. You know what I mean? There was a soundbite from Tom Brady this week. He was on the Stephen A. Smith show, and he was talking about how there's a lot of subpar quarterback play around the NFL because quarterbacks aren't developing the same way they used to. Right? Back in the day, teams weren't drafting quarterbacks to start them week 1.
No, you sat in the back for a couple years.
You usually sat in the back. You took some time to adjust to the speed of the game, learn the system, right? He also talked about how colleges now, they're not really systems anymore. Depending on where you go, it's just a team. It's just a culture. It's just a brand. It's not really a system the way that it was. He said Michigan taught him pro-style passing. It taught him what he's going to see in the NFL, and he was able to translate that to the next level, but he had to work for it. He didn't come in and start right away. I mean, he's a 6th-rounder, so obviously he's the outlier there. But quarterbacks were just brought up differently. Like Aaron Rodgers.
That's right.
Aaron Rodgers was big-time draft pick to sit behind Brett Favre.
Look at
Jordan Love. Big-time draft pick just to sit behind Aaron Rodgers. And now
Kyle Trask.
Now Jordan Love was the highest paid quarterback in the NFL because he played that damn good for the Packers to decide, I know the market is what the market is, but the way that he developed, they love what they saw. They gave him patience. They gave him time. And I think a lot of these quarterbacks, specifically this kind of about Bryce Young, but Anthony Richardson, he's a raw player. He needs time. He needs the exposure. He needs the real-time experience. I think headed into the NFL, he had only started 18 career games.
Yeah, he did play that many.
That's between middle school, high school, and college. 18 fucking games as a starting quarterback. And this guy ends up going in the first round of the NFL draft to a team that needed a quarterback. Just give him a little bit of time. With that being said, though, Chicago at Indy.
You better pick fucking Indy after that suck off of Anthony Richardson you just did.
You going to be upset that I don't?
No, just go for it. But I mean, I think Indy fans right now are like, Rhett's behind it. He's gonna pick the right team.
So who do you think is the better game this week? Caleb Williams or Anthony Richardson?
I think Anthony Richardson does. He has me as a big time Colts believer. I'm picking the Colts.
Yeah. I'm also picking the Colts.
Oh, there you go.
I'm also picking the Colts. I think the Colts are due for a win. I think the Colts are always, every year. Maybe it's just because I have friends who are Colts fans and I talk to them regularly and I always hear about where they're at. But I always feel like the Colts get a bad shake or a bad evaluation of their roster just because they don't have a quarterback and haven't had a quarterback.
Well, they got one now in Anthony Richardson. So give him some time. Yeah. He'll be hitting Jonathan Taylor and
Jonathan Taylor and who? A big Colts fan over there.
Oh, fuck.
You got him?
Michael Pittman Jr.
Yeah, and then they also got a couple of other guys. But
whatever. We only talk about the superstars here.
All right, well, they take down Caleb Williams and the Bears this week.
Go Colts. Hopefully we don't lead you guys to an 0-2 of us picking you guys. Maybe we're bad luck. Houston at Minnesota. Sam Darnold, the superstar that he is, taking on Houston Texans. Tank Dell has been nowhere to be found.
Nico Collins, he's the man.
Yeah, Nico Collins taking over that Tank Dell spot. Woo! I mean, are you believing in the Sam Darnold hype, or are you believing in the CJ Stroud hype still?
For another week in a row, I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that eventually Sam Darnold is going to run out of magic, and I think Houston is going to be the better team this week. CJ Stroud's better quarterback, and if you're asking those guys to duel it out, I'm picking Stroud 8 days a week.
Lummy's upset. Minnesota beats Houston in Minnesota.
3-0 start, would that be for them?
Yes, it would be.
Wow.
A lot of weapons. Sam Darnold, he's utilizing those weapons with whatever talent he has. So let's go Big Purple. The Purple People Eater, or whatever the hell their fucking nickname was. Philly at New Orleans. Does New Orleans stay hot, and does Philly stay cold? After a loss against the Falcons and New Orleans coming off a big win against the Cowboys, who do you got?
I do have New Orleans. Because I think Philly's not there.
No.
I think Sirianni as their coach is good at a lot of things. They're a decent team with a decent roster, but I don't think they're at the level. I don't think they're at that level anymore that they were in that Super Bowl season. I think they're still a good team, going to win some games, but this seems like a perfectly losable game for the Eagles if we're going off of the criteria that we've seen these last couple of years. So I think New Orleans. Shit, I hope I'm wrong. I really do hope I'm wrong, but I think they steal this one.
I got Philly flying into New Orleans and taking down the Saints and taking them 2-1.
I wanted to pick Philly.
You wanted, but you didn't believe enough.
No, I didn't. I think the Saints are more scummy and they're going to win.
Oh, is that what it is?
They always steal wins like this. It's just par for the course.
Wow. We'll see what happens on that. Another pick between both of us. The Chargers and at the very, 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 very boring Pittsburgh Steelers to watch. I'm gonna go with the Chargers.
I'm gonna be pissed because I'm picking the Chargers, but I bet you the Steelers win this game.
They win these stupid fucking games that you don't expect. They always fucking do.
Yep.
It's gonna be a boring game.
13-7.
Justin Herbert's gonna throw a pick, another fumble here and there. And he'll do enough just not to win the game. And Pittsburgh will do just enough to win the game.
Yep.
So, but I'm picking the Chargers still. I mean, this one can be really quicker. Denver at Tampa. I mean,
go Bucks.
Yeah, go Bucks. Fuck Denver. We're going to be eating some Rocky Mountain fucking oyster clams or whatever the fuck they are while we're there.
You got it.
So, Carolina. At the Raiders.
Yeah, give me the Raiders.
Yeah, give me the Raiders. These aren't that hard when you're playing back to back. You're picking you're picking back to back shitty teams against So Denver and Carolina, you guys are shit. But hold on, I'm surprised you didn't go Carolina. I totally forgot this. Your fellow redhead is starting.
He is. I don't think he's going to fix that team.
Andy Dalton's going to be hitting Adam Thielen.
You want to know something really funny? Is I was talking a little earlier about stats. The Bucks lead the NFL in explosive plays on offense. The Broncos lead the NFL in limiting explosive plays on defense. The Carolina Panthers lead the NFL in dumb plays.
Really?
Based off of the criteria. For example, running the football on 2nd and long would be considered a dumb play. The Panthers are number 1 by quite a wide margin in that category. And that is the Dave Canales effect, my friends.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wow.
Haven't figured out when to run the football yet.
Nope. I don't think you will either with Carolina. So good luck there. Miami with the superstar Skylar Thompson taking the helm. It looks like his baseball card. It's not like my fucking dad. His football card going up in value. Does he come through and beat the Seattle Seahawks in Seattle with the 12-man or 13-man, whatever they call that fucking stadium? Or does Miami win? What do you think? Rhett.
Picking Seattle.
You don't think Miami's going to travel out west?
And pull off the upset?
Seattle?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. So I'm going Seattle.
It was a gritty overtime win for Seattle last week. They barely pulled it out. So I think they're playing at home yet again here. They are already a grizzled team, quote unquote. So I think they're going to carry that this week and they're going to win.
I think Miami's going to keep it close. I think Miami will score. I think they're going to have a good game plan, and with I mean, it could almost be an upset because
it's going to be quarterback. It's going to be quarterback play. We've talked about this with Tua time and time again. They have the roster.
Well, I can see where Seattle can't really prepare much against Skyler because even him in last week's game, he didn't really have much. They didn't put much tape on him. He kind of just handed the ball, did a couple of short passes. So, yeah. We'll see, but I'm still going with Seattle on that one.
Alrighty.
And let's see here, Baltimore at Dallas. Ooh, wow.
This is a tough game to pick.
It is.
This is two very disappointing teams so far, but I think the Ravens get their first win of the year here.
So you got Dallas losing 2 in a row?
Yeah, I do. At home, too, in front of the home crowd. That's going to be brutal.
Yeah. I'm going to have to go with Dallas.
Just because of that?
Baltimore flies to 0-3.
Just because of that, I bet Dallas wins this game.
Yeah, Dallas. And I really can't fucking stand Baltimore. I like Little Purple when he's down. You know, I remember last year he called in so much fucking bragging about everything.
Yeah, they were the best team in the AFC. They were going to win the Super Bowl. Well, we've kind of been through a lot of different Baltimore milestones with him. You remember the Lamar Jackson free agency drama?
Yeah.
We were talking to him about that a year ahead of time.
Sure were.
So, we've kind of seen it. I don't know if I would consider us Baltimore fans, but we've definitely been there for a lot of it.
Yeah, we've been there, buddy. Okay, so we know. And the whole thing is that Baltimore I just don't see it getting it done against Dallas. You know, and Little Purple said it all as a Baltimore fan. We predicted to be 1-1. So that means you guys are not confident on your team, and I'm not confident that you guys go to Dallas and win. So go Cowboys, go. San Francisco at the Rams. Well, the Rams don't really have any wide receivers left.
Yeah, they really don't, but San Francisco just lost to the Vikings. So, I mean, if you got a good quarterback, Justin Jefferson also helps as well. But I think the Niners are going to win this game. I know for a while the Rams were the team they couldn't get around, but I think that time has passed, and they redeemed themselves here with a win against the Rams.
Yeah, 49ers 7-point favorite going to L.A. So, yeah, I'm going to go in San Francisco, too. Detroit at Arizona.
Give me the Lions, man. Don't do it. Don't you do it. Don't do it. Marvin Harrison isn't that good.
I'm not even talking about Marvin Harrison. He was on my bench because he played like shit week 1. He fucking had me lose a couple fantasy games because he's on my bench. But they're playing hot, man. James Conner looking good. Kyle Murray looks like he's coming together. Obviously Harrison, he's looking pretty good. Detroit coming off their loss. I'm going Arizona.
Get the fuck out of here, dude. Are you serious?
Yeah, fucking Arizona. Fly, Cardinal fly.
So is that your upset of the week? You think Detroit's going to drop 2 in a row?
What was my other upset? My other upset was
Minnesota over Houston.
Oh, yeah. Let's see. Who's a bigger dog? Detroit. Oh, yeah. Arizona's a bigger dog. Arizona. Another pick for Arizona to be my upset of the week.
What's the line on that? Oh, it's only 3.
Yeah, but it's at Arizona.
Yeah.
So it's realistically
technically
6.
Yeah.
Because then if you go to Minnesota, Houston's 2.5. So that's 5.5. So technically the Arizona is the bigger. But I mean, hey, I can have 2 underdog picks this week, and I just did.
You had 3 last week.
I did, and I went 2 and 3. Only the fucking shitty Denver Broncos let me down.
All right, let's bring it home. Kansas City at Atlanta.
Whoa, Atlanta's coming off, but guess what? Kansas City is too good. Who are you picking?
I took KC.
I don't know if I want to really take an upset pick with Atlanta. I don't think they look that good, but they did lose Pacheco. I'm going Atlanta.
Get the fuck out of here. Are you serious right now?
Back to back. I'm on the birds, baby. The Cardinals and the Falcons.
Yeah, you're smoking. You're smoking some bird.
Listen, I got pain injuries, and I don't have pain pills. I only got
you're
Tylenol.
You're delirious, huh?
I'm delirious because I need pain pills. I only got fucking Tylenol.
Jacksonville at 2 Monday night games, by the way. One at 7:30.
That doesn't 8:15. What the
one
fuck
at 7:30, one at 8:15. We got a double header for Monday Night Football, ladies and gentlemen. The first one going to be an AFC matchup. Jacksonville traveling up north to take on Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills.
And Cooper Lips. I believe I wasn't. You said I was smoking with my 3 picks last week, and only your team fucking shit the bed. So smoke on that pipe. Jacksonville at Buffalo. I'm going Buffalo.
Yeah, it's hard for me to not go Buffalo as well. I know I kind of shit on them before the start of the season, but they've played well.
Yeah.
They've played pretty well. Josh Allen's played okay so far into the season. I think this is another winnable game for them. I'm a little disappointed in Jacksonville last week, so I don't think they're quite as good as I thought they were headed into this year.
And we got, let's see, Washington going to Cincinnati. Cincinnati's 0-2. They get their first win.
Yep, I don't see it any other way.
I don't either. Joe Burrow is going to find where his receivers are.
Well, we shall see what ends up happening headed into this week. This could be my last week as the lead dog here with a 21-11 record.
That's right.
You are headed into week 3 with a 19-13 record. So literally right on my tail after a rough week last week.
That's right. My upsets are going to come through again. So just watch it, buddy. I'm coming on your ass.
Whoa. Whoa.
That didn't sound good.
Wow, great time to end the show.
Listen, we had too much P. Diddy talk. Ray, you got anything?
Not after that, I don't.
Whoops. Well, thank you everyone for tuning in to the Lummy Sports Show with Rhett. Hopefully Rhett's back next week after that comment. Doesn't follow sexual harassment.
Yeah, we'll be reading Lummy's indictment next week on the show.
Exactly. Don't forget the slides are out. So go to Bubba Army store, Bubba Army shop, BubbaArmyMerch.com and get those before they are sold out. And thank you, everyone. We will be back live tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. right here. I hate these bumpers.
I know. It faked you out, didn't it?
It did. So, but thank you, everyone, and we will see you tomorrow. See ya.